box. There's no reset button once something happens.
Every day, officers in our communities put their lives on the line. Tonight, we are getting our first look at what they do in a whole new way. Rantoul police started using body cameras about a year and a half ago.
Then last summer, a 6-hour standoff with a man at a hotel ended with an officer shooting him. Our cameras were there at a distance, but now we're seeing what officers did firsthand. WCIA3's Anna Carrera is here with us. Anna, there were some very tense moments during that situation.
Aaron, when you look at footage from the body cams, you can see just how close they are to the suspect. He's yelling at them, threatening them, and that's just the beginning. We want to let you know some of the video may be graphic. When it comes to keeping people safe, police use the best equipment they can get their hands on. One of their newest pieces of gear is a body cam.
I wear a pair of safety glasses, and it's attached to the side of the safety glasses, so wherever I look, that camera looks also.
Rantoul officers have worn them on all kinds of calls, but last August, their cameras captured something they hadn't seen before.
He's a barricaded subject at this point, room 211. You'll see where we're at.
Will Stuckmeyer was already on patrol that night when he ended up at the Days Inn. Officers found out Darius Graves was staying there. He was the suspect in an armed robbery that weekend. This is video from Will's body cam, just feet away from room 211.
Yeah, I can see it. It's still in his waistband.
Will waits for backup and asks someone to bring him a shield.
We believe that he was armed and had the potential for this to become a deadly force situation.
I'm recording this right now, Darius.
Will even tells Darius he's wearing the camera.
Many times I found that it actually changes the public's behavior when they know that they're being videotaped.
But that's not enough to get him to come outside.
Let's resolve this now, then, before the SWAT team gets here, man.
Once this becomes a standoff situation, officers evacuate the other rooms.
There's many rooms that are occupied there, and so we're concerned about their safety.
Other members of the SWAT team are called out. That includes Eric Ruff, who just finished his patrol shift a few hours earlier.
I have all my equipment ready, said goodbye to my wife and daughter. A lot of emotions go through your head because you don't know all the information initially. It's organized chaos.
Eric is a sniper for Metro SWAT.
We're kind of the eyes and the ears of the team.
Tactical side, they get there, they set up the perimeter, and they get everything in place. But from that point, you know, we're the ones that are, you know, trying to resolve this.
Rantoul PD's Tim Revest is one of the negotiators.
There's just a lot of detective work, basically, that's going on to try to figure out as much as we can about that person.
That can take hours, and the officers know it.
We will bring whatever resources we can to bear in order to resolve this situation peacefully.
It's a big roller coaster the entire time. I mean, a lot of times when these kind of incidents first kick off, tensions are high, emotions are high.
Ready to be done?
And then it's just up and down as things go.
I guess you really don't notice how many hours have gone by. There comes a time where we have to decide that no progress is being made.
I don't think it's going to end with negotiation here.
It's really hard, and I know it was hard in this particular situation. We're in our negotiations vehicle, you know, telling command another half an hour, another half an hour. Ultimately, the call is the command.
After 6 hours, that call was made. 6 cans of gas were shot into room 211. Then Darius came out, running toward a group of officers on the second floor. They saw he had something in his hand, but couldn't tell what.
As police officers, we're trained to take those additional risks.
I think in the heat of the moment, you know, we're trained to run in and not run away, and we're not thinking about how scary this is or whether we're going to make it home that night to our spouses or loved ones or children. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the public and the safety of everybody involved.
Champaign police officer Colby Olison shot Darius once. Another peak in the roller coaster of emotions, but there was still more work to do.
Once the situation was safe, paramedics were called up to the scene to provide that care to him, and the individual was then transported to the hospital.
Those final decisions took only minutes, some just seconds. They were reviewed for hours, days, and weeks afterward. The body cams show what many of us would never see otherwise.
I think the public a lot of times doesn't understand why we do what we do or the types of behavior that people exhibit that force us to sometimes use force. And I think by the public seeing that, I think that's a good thing.
That perspective helped prosecutors decide the officers made the right call.
It keeps the police accountable, and it lets the public know the kind of work that we're doing out here.
Even if you don't always see eye to eye with police, body cams are giving us a glimpse of real life through their lens.
The officers told me they go back and look at that video like athletes watch film. That way they can see how they responded and try to improve for the future. Aaron?
Wow, very, very interesting stuff there. All right, Anna, thank you. Now, body cams were a big part of last year's comprehensive police reform legislation. The law encourages departments to use those cameras, but they don't have to. Officers are supposed to keep their cameras on when conducting law enforcement activities, but they can turn them off if they're talking to a confidential informant or if a victim or witness asks them to.